I can't mince words. The BlueBay Esmeralda and Riviera Maya was by far the worst resort in which we've stayed. As you may know, we've been to Riviera Maya 25 times now, so we have plenty of resorts in which to compare it to. We booked the BlueBay for the first time 15 years ago, and it was great. I've removed it from my list of suggested resorts until I hear otherwise that the issues have been resolved. First, I'm going to tell you about our horrible experience. Then stay tuned for my list of recommended resorts. So I promised you the good, the bad, and the ugly. First, let's start with the ugly. The sargassum. The sargassum mass that's coming in from the Atlantic is affecting Riviera Maya and soon the beaches of Florida. That being said, most resorts are working tirelessly to clean it up. Unfortunately, the BlueBay is either leaving it on the beach or not cleaning it up in a timely manner. Therefore, not only are the beaches affected, but the pools, which are the main pools by the beach, have this horrible smell. Next to the pools, there's a buffet for breakfast and lunch. That smells. That buffet turns into the seafood restaurant, or the other side turns into the steakhouse at night. And those are ground zero for this putrid smell. And to clarify, it's not just an unpleasant smell. Breathing it in can cause respiratory issues. I experienced headaches and nausea from this toxic mess while I was in the pools and the nearby restaurant. I walked the beach twice to take video, but then I avoided it like the plague otherwise. Sometimes the stench was carried by the wind to the interior of the resort by our room. Disgusting. Okay, so that was the ugly. Now here's the bad. So what should be a relaxing vacation turned into a job where we had to get up at 5 a.m. so that we could be out there by 6 in order to save a space for ourselves to sit for the day. And this was serious business. We saw people get into confrontations because they either sat in someone's seat or took someone's towels, and then those people came back and had to confront them and tell them, no, those are our seats. And then, the guests were perplexed because they didn't know what was going on. It was really difficult. At one point, there was a man who was at the buffet by this small pool, and he saw another man go over to his lounger, take his towel off, and then take his seat. So he came out of the buffet and confronted him, and the two almost got into a chest bump contest over a lounge chair. To add insult to injury, many of the lounge chairs were worn out. In fact, one day I sat in one that felt like a bucket seat. It looked like a hammock with my butt hanging down below the frame of the lounger. So while we're talking about this pool where we spent most of our time, I have a funny story. The last day we were turning in our towels to get our towel cards, which you have to do in order to check out so that you're not charged for them. We walked over to the towel stand and there was no one there. So all of a sudden, all these people start lining up and there's no one in the towel stand. So I walked over to the buffet, which was next door, and I asked the person there if they knew where the towel girl was. Well, there was all this shoulder shrugging and I don't know. And all of a sudden we look over and we see somebody walk into the towel stand. So she goes, oh, look, there's someone there. Well, it turns out it's just one of the guests. It's a man who got tired of standing in line and he went in and exchanged his towels. So I went back over to the towel stand and I proceeded to start giving clean towels to the people turning in their dirty towels. At that point, there were a couple people who just arrived, so they had towel cards. So I took their towel cards, gave them towels, and I was saving those towel cards for me to turn in. Well, another man who's standing in line said he needed 3 towel cards. I said, I don't have them. So I started taking in more towels and people with towel cards. And then when he turned in his dirty towels, I gave him 3 towel cards. Then from there was a woman who didn't speak English. She needed towel cards. And she was trying to grab the towel cards from my hand. And I said, no, those are mine. So at that point, I decided my job was over. And I said, that's enough. I'm quitting as towel girl. I resigned and walked out of the towel stand.
Well, I'm sorry. There's just no way that we could keep you on.
But I don't even really work here.
That's what makes this so difficult.
Now for the good. The restaurants which were located inland, the Mexican, the gourmet, and the Italian were actually good, and we had nice meals there. Unfortunately, the steakhouse was located by the beach, Smelled terribly, but it had good food. That's where we had dinner the first night before we knew how bad the putrid smell was. So we got in there, had our meal, and then hightailed it out of there. So by now, I'm sure you're thinking, Lori, give the resort a break. It's sargassum season. To show you how other resorts are dealing with this issue, I went to the 3 resorts that were next to the BlueBay. First, I put on a respirator so I could go through our beach area. Just kidding. I just wish I had one. I then shot video of our beach and the beaches of the resort next to us. Let's take a look at what I found. So this is Thursday. We've been here since Saturday. As you can see, the situation has not improved. You can hardly breathe here out on the beach. It's even worse up by the pools. I'm just on the tail end of the Ocean Royale, and it's much different here. You can breathe here. I'm sure that they can use their beach unless they are, the wind's blowing a certain way and the stench from BlueBay is coming over here. But it's like night and day. You can literally sit out here, use the beach, and breathe. As you can see, they can even hold a yoga class here on the beach. You wouldn't dare do that next door. And this is the walkway that is set up here at Ocean Royale. Coming up on the right is the new Hyatt Zalera, and it looks absolutely beautiful. There's some sargassum on the beach here, but they are cleaning it up, and I'm sure that it will be gone in about an hour or so. Here we are coming up to the Hyatt, and again, there's some sargassum on the beach. You can't smell it. It's not like at our resort. So I wouldn't have any problem staying here. Of course, the water isn't that beautiful turquoise, but if you had a vacation plan here, I would say that you're still good to go. It's beautiful. So here is the Blue Diamond Resort. It is a boutique resort. I just talked to someone who is staying here, and she said, yeah, there's a little sargassum on the beach, but they've kept up with it. There's really no smell, nothing that is overpowering like we have at our resort. So, this could be another option for you if you're looking for a boutique resort. So there you have it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. As promised, I'm going to tell you about the other resorts that I think that you would enjoy. One is the RIU Dunamar, which has a fabulous beach, and the Iberostar Lindo. Please take a look at these videos and let me know what you think. If you have a resort that you would recommend, please let me know in the comments below. And if you have a resort that is on your do not go to list, let me know that too. See you next time.